A warning, some of the details here are disturbing. Let's bring in Alma McCarty. And Alma, survivors say staff isolated, groomed, threatened, and abused them.
David, an attorney for these survivors, says they've never met and don't know one another, but their stories are strikingly similar, with patterns of alleged abuse that go back almost 50 years.
They just didn't know who to tell. They were told by their abusers, nobody's going to believe you.
But now, years later, attorney Scott Edwards says 8 brave people are speaking up.
Despite the passage of time, over 40 years, we kept seeing similar complaints and similar descriptions of abusers.
Their individual stories adding up to an alleged institutional failure at the Clark County Juvenile Justice Center.
For whatever reason, many of these people, they did make poor decisions, and that's what resulted in them being in county custody in the first place. But if we're going to take these people out of their homes and out of their communities, we as a society owe it to them to protect them from this type of thing.
In a newly filed civil lawsuit, the victims who were detained as children here between 1978 and 2014 allege that detention staff members used their authority to groom, threaten, and sexually abuse them. The plaintiffs say in some cases they were sexually assaulted during strip searches or isolated in supply closets and cells and other blind spots. Staff members, they allege, would retaliate or threaten physical harm to silence victims or provide contraband to groom them. When they tried to speak up, the complaint alleges the victims were ignored or dismissed.
Just based on the similarities of abuse and the countless youth who have gone through the youth correction facility, I have to imagine that there's others out there who maybe they've held this their entire lives, haven't told anybody.
Edwards says the survivors now hope to be heard.
And if this lawsuit can be a vehicle by which we can both hold people accountable and prevent future harm to children in our communities, that's what we're trying to do.
We reached out to Clark County for a statement. They said they do not comment on pending litigation. We followed up to ask about a person named in the lawsuit who appears to still work for juvenile detention. On that, we have not heard back. David?
And obviously that's very concerning. Alma McCarty in the newsroom with our top story. Thanks, Alma.